The question I wanted to ask was kind of related to what Crystal was asking firstly.
Okay.
I've been toying around with seeing if I can't show up higher in searches on particularly Airbnb.
Okay.
And my kind of question is, who am I competing with? So am I just doing a general search, Charlotte, North Carolina, two
Oh, got
guests,
it.
any
No,
house?
no, you're not. No, you, and this is where it gets very challenging to figure out who you're competing with. So here's what I'm going to do. Um, because there's so many things that you have to try to eliminate, so that you're only competing with people who have the exact same business objective as you. Does that make sense?
Yes. I mean, I
Okay.
did eliminate room shares and all that kind of stuff, but
Yeah, but you also have to eliminate the part timers, which is tough. Even especially when they have a house, or especially the part timers who have been there a long time, right? So you've got to be able to look at a number of different things. So, for example, not well, actually, and I can't believe I'm about to say this. I really can't, but I'm going to say it anyway. The So there are a few things that AirDNA is actually good for. This is one of them.
I have it as well.
Okay, perfect. They should be able to show you the top host in your zip code. And you can then look through those properties, and those are probably those are the people who are your most direct competition. Does that make sense? Because
It
they're the ones
does.
who are going to have 2, 3, well, 5, 10, 20, 30 listings in the area. They're the ones who are going to be operating with a similar cost structure to yourself, meaning they're paying, they're not trying to pay somebody under the table. They're not doing the cleaning themselves. They're not washing their own linen. Sorry, I chuckle at some of the things that I've heard at some of these meetings before. There was one lady, and I kid you not, she came up to me later because by that time she knew how many units we were running, and she's like, "How do you guys iron all your linen?" And I'm like, "Huh?" She's like, "Yeah, I iron my sheets before the guests come," and I'm just like, "I can't imagine doing that for that many units." And in my head, I'm like, I can't imagine doing it for one unit. Why would you iron your sheets? But she was set on ironing her sheets, and I'm just like, wow. Anyway, um, so what it comes down to is eliminating those individuals, by honestly number of listings that they have, right?
Yeah. I mean, I
Uh,
know some of the professional operators, and it's obvious who they are.
right.
But even if I go in there and just say, "Hey, everything's $25 a night," just to see what'll happen and hope nobody books it while I'm testing that, it,
It's not going to work because what part of
it
the challenge when you're searching, it's only searching available units. It's not going to search units that are already booked. Does that make sense?
it does.
This is why AirDNA is necessary. This is why the market reports are necessary, because it's hard to get data for units that are already booked and are booked frequently, which should be which are generally, I will say, the units you're competing against. Does that make sense? So
I
you
see.
have to
So that
go
they're
ahead.
not even going to show up when I'm searching, is what you're
No,
saying.
they're not going to show
Yeah.
up at all, and AirDNA can at least give you the information based upon what they can scrape together, and market reports from Smart B&B are going to help you because it'll check a number of different date ranges, because there should be some of those date ranges where they have units that are available. So that's it. So it's a combination of date ranges and availability that get very difficult to put the comp set together. And the fastest way that I have found to narrow that comp set without going through and clicking back and forth and turning your brain off and going to sleep in front of the computer is that AirDNA report that'll give you the top hosts by zip code.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, I've looked at that. I just can't seem to get where they're at.
Get
No,
where? What do you mean?
listed high enough. In other words,
Well,
I see properties that are consistently
mm-hmm.
listed high,
Well,
consistently.
okay. So here it listed high, meaning they come up first in search.
Yes.
Okay,
So I'm on
and
page like two or three,
ooh,
pretty
okay,
consistently.
got it. So here's something I want you to try. One of the features inside remember Airbnb, as I assume what we're talking about. So, because if it was a different platform, we'd be talking something different. But in Airbnb specifically, they're a low to high situation. So, because they're a low to high situation, uh, try this. Um, Go 3 Mondays from today and put that Monday at the absolute minimum. So still within the next 30 days, but put that Monday at the absolute minimum number that you would accept, and see if that doesn't change it in terms of where you come in position. And the way I would track that position is, again, first I would run the market report as is, then I would change it, and then I would run the market report again and see. And sometimes it takes a while for the change to propagate, so that when they do the API calls again, it actually shows up with the new data. So just keep that in the back of your head. That's also saying don't run the market reports back to back too quickly, because you're probably going to end up getting the same data twice. Does that make sense?
It does. 3 Mondays, is that just to be far enough out that?
Yes,
or
far
is
enough
that
out, but still within 30 days, and on a day that I know you're not going to care about.
Yeah, I mean, I did do that. I just did it for like next Monday.
Yeah, no, totally understood. Totally understood. But only that Monday, not like the entire week, is all.
Yeah,
all
for
I'm
sure.
saying is just that one day, because that should influence your search position. And then always remember, anytime you're searching, I'm just going to assume that you are already using incognito window of some kind, because otherwise you have to clear your cache and all that other stuff every time. So
I am. I just found out that the more I narrowed down my criteria. For example, I've got one that's pet friendly. If I click that guy, then that really helps.
yeah,
But I got other ones that aren't, and so that's really been the only way I've found that I've really been able to differentiate and get super high without. Well, I can't get to the top. I don't know if there must be other stuff to it, that maybe it's just having enough reviews, maybe it's longevity, maybe it's stuff we don't know.
Well, yes, and this is where I was getting to. So there's and that reminds me of something else. Airbnb and many of the platforms are beginning to use and perfect and get even better at machine learning. And what's happening for a lot of us is based upon things like something as simple as your IP address. It's your first visit to the site, but they know your IP address, and they're going, okay, the IP address, they have a reasonably decent idea of where you're currently located, and then they're going, based upon history, people who have looked at our site on this day of the week at this particular time from this particular area, these are the first 10, 15, 20 properties we need to show them based upon the search criteria, because he's local. And this is another way of saying that, John, it is very possible that if I perform the same search, I find you. Even though you perform that same search, we both do it from incognito windows, but we get completely different stuff because their machines have tracked something as simple as the IP address to figure out which one should they show first, because remember, they're doing their best to get the conversion, because that's when they make money.
Yeah, okay. You got my wheels turning. So now I'm going to have to do virtual private networks from different places and see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's 100% right. I mean, do it on booking.com and you will totally get some wild, wacky stuff. And in fact, that'll change your pricing in some cases, specifically on booking.com, because one of the things that they have in place there is targeting by geography. So, which is one of the things I get excited about, because I'm like, cool, if I know that a certain demographic or people are coming from a certain area to my area during a certain time, I'll give them a discount that I might not offer to a completely different demographic of individuals, simply because I know that and I can. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else, or did that help?
That helped. You
Okay.
just mentioned you were trying to be in the top 10, and I'm trying to be 2. So
yeah, I want to be.
And I'm having trouble getting there.
I got to be 1 through 9, somewhere 1 through 9. And if I'm 1 through 9, I just move on. I'm happy. Next. But if you're in the top 18, you're still page 1. But 1 through 9 is where I like to be, because then I'm above the fold, so to speak. And that's really where, above the fold on a desktop. On a mobile device, it's kind of hard, but you get the idea.
Yeah, understood. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. If you like information like this, go ahead and hit that like button, because that tells YouTube that more entrepreneurs see us, and definitely hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that the next time we publish more quality content like this, you can be a part. Thanks.